Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and solve what is honestly a terrifying mystery for pool owners. A pump that just keeps shutting off. You know the drill, right? You walk out to the equipment pad expecting to hear that familiar hum and nothing. Dead silent. So, naturally, you look at the panel, you flip the breaker back on, the pump fires up, and you're thinking, sweet, problem solved. But then you check back an hour later and it's off again. Look, if you've been stuck in this endless loop of resetting your breaker, you are definitely not alone. But you really, really need to hear this next point before you even think about touching that switch one more time. Seriously, stop resetting the breaker. It is literally trying to save your house. A tripping breaker isn't just some annoying nuisance. It's a critical warning device. It cuts the power when it detects an overcurrent or overheat situation. Think about it. Your pool pump is a heavy-duty 240-volt appliance. When that breaker trips, it's screaming at you that something inside the pump, the motor, or the wiring is drawing dangerously high current. If you just keep using the breaker like a giant on-off switch without fixing the underlying fault, you're going to degrade the contacts, overheat the wiring, and potentially start a fire. So we've got to listen to it. Today, we're going to treat your pump like a patient. We're following a 6-step diagnostic roadmap. The tripping breaker mystery. Timing tells the story. The $15 fix, mechanical jams and overheating, moisture and ground faults, and finally, deciding whether to DIY or call a pro. All right, part 1, the tripping breaker mystery. Which brings us to part 2, timing tells the story. To really solve this, we need to put on our detective hats. In the pool world, a tripping breaker is an electrical problem until proven otherwise. So before you panic and call an expensive technician, just grab a watch. The exact timing of when that pump shuts off gives us massive clues and immediately narrows down our list of suspects. If it trips the absolute split second you turn it on, that motor is drawing too much current at startup, which usually points to a capacitor, a winding short, or a seized shaft. Now, if it runs fine for, say, 10 to 30 minutes and then trips, you're likely dealing with an overheating issue under load. And what if it only happens right after a massive rainstorm? Well, then you've got a moisture and ground fault issue. Let's break these down, starting with the absolute most common culprit for an immediate trip. Moving on to part 3, the $15 fix. So let's talk about the capacitor. It's this little cylindrical hump, usually sitting right on the side or top of the pump motor. Basically, it acts exactly like the battery in your car. It gives the pool pump this massive initial jolt of energy it desperately needs to get that heavy motor spinning. But if this little guy gets weak, maybe from the blazing summer heat or just thousands of on and off cycles over the years, the motor's going to struggle to start. Instead of spinning, it just sits there, hums, draws a massive amount of extra current, and bam, instantly trips the breaker. And believe it or not, about 35 to 40% of the time, this terrifying, seemingly expensive electrical problem is literally just a cheap $15 fix. Seriously. So before you go assuming your entire pump is totally ruined, checking that capacitor is the smartest, cheapest first step you can take. Sometimes it's super obvious. They'll be bulging, split open, or just smell absolutely awful. But other times, they look perfectly fine, and you'll just need a multimeter to see that they've tested bad. Now, if you're the DIY type, swapping it out is pretty straightforward, but listen to me very closely here. We are dealing with 240 volts. You absolutely must aggressively enforce safety. Step 1, turn off the power at the main breaker. No exceptions. Step 2, remove the rear motor housing. Step 3, and this is absolutely critical, capacitors hold a charge for days, so you have to discharge it. Take an insulated screwdriver and place it across the leads to short it out. Only after you've done that is it safe to disconnect the leads and pop in a new capacitor that matches the microfarad and voltage rating. All right, part 4, mechanical jams and overheating. But hey, what if your capacitor tests perfectly fine, or you swap it out and the breaker is still tripping? Well, we've got to move to our next suspects, mechanical issues that are just forcing the motor to work way too hard. Honestly, one of the best diagnostic tools you have right now is your own ears. If you hear this low brr or humming sound and the motor just isn't spinning, that usually means the impeller is jammed. Tiny bits of debris, we're talking pine needles, little pebbles, or plaster chips, can sneak right past the pump basket and get wedged into the impeller housing. When the motor tries to turn against that jam, it causes a huge locked rotor current surge and pop. The breaker trips. The good news? You can often solve this kind of jam yourself in just a few minutes. Turn off all the power, take out the pump basket, and carefully reach your fingers back towards the motor to feel the impeller. A lot of times, you can just manually spin it to break it free. We actually saw a user on a pool forum who had this exact same experience. They managed to get the impeller spinning by hand, and the pump just fired right back up. But If that impeller is already spinning freely, or if the pump trips after running perfectly for, say, 20 minutes, then we are looking at a completely different problem. Those delayed trips, that tells us the motor is overheating under a heavy load. This can happen for a few reasons. Sometimes it's blocked motor vents. Have you piled fresh mulch around your equipment pad recently? Mulch holds a ton of moisture and acid, and it can literally suffocate the pump's airflow. Overheating can also happen if the pump is running dry, or if the internal bearings are wearing out. You'll usually hear those squealing or grinding as they die. And if you live somewhere cold, the heavy snow and freeze-thaw cycles over the winter can actually cause internal rust, which ends up locking the motor right when you're trying to open the pool for the summer. Let's move on to part 5, moisture and ground faults. Look, water and electricity are just terrible roommates, but your pool equipment pad is exactly where they're forced to live together. Now, there is a super important distinction we need to make here. A standard breaker trips when the circuit draws way too much current. But a lot of modern pool pumps are hooked up to a GFCI breaker, which is designed to detect ground faults. If your GFCI trips, but the standard breaker holds strong, that means electrical current is leaking to ground. And do you know how sensitive a GFCI is? It'll trip at just 5 milliamps of leakage. That almost always means water is getting somewhere it definitely shouldn't. If your pump trips immediately after a massive rainstorm, or maybe your lawn sprinklers hit the pad by mistake, don't panic right away. Sometimes you just need to let the sun bake the equipment dry for 24 to 48 hours and try again. But if that GFCI is tripping constantly in bone-dry weather, you've got an issue. You need to check for cracked wiring conduit or a leaking shaft seal. Keep an eye out for water pooling directly underneath the middle of the pump. If you see that, it means pool water is being driven straight into the electrical motor housing and it is destroying it from the inside out. And finally, part 6, DIY or call a pro. Okay, so we've gathered our clues, checked the timing, and listened to the pump. Now for the verdict. While checking a capacitor, clearing away some suffocating mulch, or unjamming an impeller are entirely DIY-friendly tasks for most folks, you absolutely must call a licensed electrician immediately if you run into any severe electrical hazards. I'm talking about if your breaker stays physically hot to the touch, if you smell ozone or melting plastic, or if a pro tests it and finds the motor is pulling way more amps than the nameplate rating allows. Those are signs of degraded internal windings. Basically, the motor is shorting out, melting its own insides, and creating a very real fire hazard. But hey, if your motor is indeed totally fried, you might actually be in luck. It sounds crazy, but as industry expert swimming pool Steve points out, if your old, super inefficient single-speed motor is finally biting the dust, this is actually a golden opportunity. Those old 1970s-style pumps just hog a ridiculous amount of electricity. Upgrading to a modern variable speed pump is definitely an upfront investment, but the month-to-month energy savings are so massive that it can completely pay for itself over time. I really hope this explainer empowered you to treat that tripping breaker not just as a headache, but as an actual diagnostic tool. You now know exactly how to check the timing, swap a capacitor safely, and hunt down sneaky moisture issues. But it does leave us with a big question. If this frustrating breakdown is actually due to a dying motor, is it the perfect time to stop fighting with outdated technology and invest in a modern, money-saving variable speed pump? Well, next time you hear that dreaded silence out at the equipment pad, you'll know exactly where to start.